For a moment, Hollywood stopped moving. The chatter, the flashing lights, the endless rush of premieres, all of it seemed to pause when the news broke. Diane Keaton was gone. It wasn't just another headline. It felt personal. Within minutes, social media filled with disbelief. From a list of actors posting tearful tributes to lifelong fans sharing scenes from Annie Hall or The Godfather, reminding the world how deeply she touched their lives. Directors called her a force that could light up an entire room without saying a word. Others simply wrote, "Thank you, Diane." It was as if every corner of Hollywood had lost a heartbeat, because Diane wasn't just part of the film industry. She was a piece of its soul. For weeks, quiet speculation surrounded Diane Keaton's health. Fans noticed her absence from recent events, but no one dared to believe the worst. Then on October 11th, her family released the statement everyone hoped they'd never have to read. They confirmed that Diane had passed away peacefully after a battle with pneumonia, ending days of uncertainty and replacing rumor with heartbreak. The message was short, dignified, and exactly how she lived her life: graceful, private, and deeply human. It thanked her supporters for decades of love and asked for space as they mourned in silence. Across social media, fans admitted that even knowing the truth didn't make it easier. One wrote, "I didn't realize how much she meant to me until now." And in that moment, the world remembered what made Diane Keaton so unforgettable: her warmth, her wit, and the way she made imperfection look beautiful. Long before she became a Hollywood icon, Diane Keaton was the actress who didn't fit the mold, and she never tried to. In a world obsessed with glamour and predictability, Diane walked in with wide-brimmed hats, loose ties, and an unapologetic sense of self. She wasn't playing a part, she was redefining one. Her breakout came with The Godfather, where she held her own beside legends like Al Pacino and Marlon Brando. But it was Annie Hall that changed everything. That film didn't just win her an Oscar, it rewrote the idea of what a leading woman could be. Awkward yet magnetic, sharp yet vulnerable, Diane made being authentic the new standard of beauty. Audiences didn't just watch her, they saw themselves in her. And from that point on, Diane Keaton wasn't just acting in movies. She was quietly reshaping Hollywood's definition of femininity, one unforgettable role at a time. Diane Keaton didn't just act, she shifted the atmosphere around her. At a time when Hollywood demanded women to be flawless and polished, Diane leaned into her quirks. She laughed aloud, dressed how she wanted, and never apologized for being different. And audiences loved her for it. She gave life to characters who felt real, women with doubts, humor, and messy emotions. Every performance, from Manhattan to Something's Gotta Give, carried that same rare honesty. She showed that aging wasn't the end of a woman's career. It could be the beginning of her most interesting chapter. Behind the camera, her reputation was just as powerful. Co-stars often said working with her felt like a masterclass in freedom. She didn't chase trends or fame, she chased truth. And that's what made Diane Keaton a generational bridge, an actress who connected the old Hollywood grace with a new kind of authenticity that would define decades to come. The moment her passing was confirmed, tributes flooded every corner of the internet. From Hollywood veterans to new generation stars, everyone seemed to have a Diane story to share. Meryl Streep wrote, "She made us all braver. No one did it like Diane." Al Pacino shared an old photo of them from The Godfather set, captioned simply, "My friend forever," and younger actors, many who grew up watching her, thanked her for showing that individuality was power. Across social media, fans replayed her most unforgettable scenes. The nervous laugh in Annie Hall, the quiet heartbreak in Marvin's Room, the radiant confidence in Something's Gotta Give. Clips of her iconic interviews went viral again. Her quick wit, her offbeat charm, her laughter that filled entire studios. Hashtags like #ThankYouDiane and #Keaton Forever began trending within hours. People didn't just mourn her, they celebrated her, turning timelines into digital love letters. But even in the sea of admiration, one tribute in particular stood out, and it came from someone whose name instantly reignited debate. Then came the message that caught everyone off guard. Woody Allen, the man who directed Diane in some of her most celebrated roles, posted a statement calling her the light that made every frame come alive. He wrote about their creative bond, their shared humor, and how no one could ever replace her presence on screen. But his words didn't come without controversy. Almost immediately, the internet split in two. Some praised his tribute, saying it felt like a genuine farewell between two artists who defined an era. Others questioned whether he should have spoken at all, given the complicated shadow surrounding his own legacy. Still, even among the debate, one truth stood out. No matter where people stood on him, everyone agreed on her. Diane Keaton was irreplaceable. Her collaborations with Alan, especially Annie Hall, didn't just make cinematic history. They changed how audiences connected with emotion, humor, and heartbreak. And while his tribute reopened old wounds for some, it also reminded the world of the brilliance they once created together, art that, even decades later, still feels alive. To remember Diane Keaton only for her movies would be to miss half of her story. She was an artist in every sense, a photographer, author, and designer who saw beauty in imperfection. Her coffee table books captured old California architecture and fleeting, forgotten moments of everyday life. She once said, "I don't chase trends. I chase what feels honest," and that honesty echoed in everything she did, from her minimalist homes to her famously quirky wardrobe. What others called eccentric, she called comfortable. What others thought strange, she made stylish. Beyond her creative pursuits, Diane became an advocate for adoption, aging with grace, and embracing individuality. She inspired generations of women to stop apologizing for who they are, to wear what they love, to laugh a little louder, and to never let the world define their worth. Even off camera, she carried that same spark that made her characters unforgettable. Every story told about her, whether from a co-star or a fan she'd met once in passing, ends the same way, with a smile. Because somehow, Diane Keaton always found a way to leave people feeling lighter than before.